This is episode 122 of the Rhythm and Rhymes podcast. I'm your host, AJ Hughes. I'm here with my co-host, Antonio Hughes. I want to start off by saying AI playlists suck. I want to start off by saying that because I felt like if AI could do anything, it could put a list of songs together, right? Spotify has a feature where you can make an AI playlist, and I attempted to do it, and it put together the worst playlist I've ever heard in my entire life. Um, and at first, I wasn't gonna say anything about it. I just threw my phone and went to sleep, right? But today, I saw an article that YouTube was about to start doing that, and then I saw another article that said Spotify is exploring uh, essentially derivative content as a revenue model. Meaning, if I put out a song and then you take the song and remix it, then they would allow that song to live on Spotify, and then they would pay you and me. But they're trying to get the labels to agree to something like that. And I feel like this is where AI has gone too far. I'm here.
Um,
I'm here.
I think I agree with you on the AI playlist thing. I was actually listening to a Dan Co podcast the other day, and he was talking about just how curators and how we've kind of talked about it, like music curators specifically, are gonna be like one of the better and more niche like business models, and one of the things that are gonna be more needed from labels. And I think that's because while AI could look at the data and do stuff like look at the numbers and see what's going that way, AI is not AI can't feel the things that we feel. It's not emotionally attached to music. It doesn't give the type of it doesn't understand the type of, I guess, emotional context. It probably will be able to on a granular level, but that's why curators and those type of people are going to be so important, because AI can only do so much when it comes to things like live entertainment and music and just performance and stuff like that. I feel like people are more attracted to the human feel in that way, and that's why, like, I think out of all places, music is one of those places that a lot of just AI stuff has been rejected by the general public and just rejected by artists. Like, a lot of people don't like that Timbaland made that AI artist. People immediately were going at that girl, like when Kaylani was going at that one AI artist girl. So I think music curators are going to be way more important than, like, just like we were talking about. But
I agree. At this point, you're gonna have to find people that you trust to make sure it ain't AI.
hmm
This ain't AI. This is AJ. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what's funny? I don't know where I'm gonna use that, or that might be the name of this episode. I was talking about uh, an email I sent to a potential hiring manager with Auntie. And when I told her what the contents of it initially said, before I changed it, obviously, but she was like, nah, you need to put that in AI. AI need to put that back and make it more professional. And I responded super quick. I was like, this ain't AI, it's AJ. You know what I'm saying? I want you to know it's me, bro. And real deal, here at R&R, this ain't AI, it's AJ. And ANTONIO. You know what I'm saying?
no, we
Uh
gonna look
we'll just
when we make
yeah,
that first R&R merch line. That's our first T-shirt right there.
yeah. Yeah, but I don't know. It's interesting to see how I don't want to say the AI thinks, but like for me to ask it to put together a specific type of playlist and for it to just pick songs that are probably tagged away on the back end or something like that. It's interesting to see that because it's like it you if you were a real person, you would have never put these playlists together.
Yeah, but
You would have
I feel
never put
like
this playlist together. Like if I asked you to give me a playlist with the same instructions, the answers may not be what my answers are, but they would be way closer.
yeah, no, that's true. And I feel like you were kind of saying, it's interesting to see how the AI thinks, because I feel like a lot of these companies are more so, if they're gonna do that thing with the labels, I feel like maybe this is a far out thought too, but they might sign something into those contracts with the AI, just anything, AI content, AI playlists, AI like remaking songs, and they might make it so that they already artificially pump certain artists. So it's like, oh,
Right.
we're having you make this AI playlist, and like this is the vibe that I'm looking for, but these are really just this is the vibe within what we were already trying to pump anyway. So we're just gonna put songs on here that, like you said, are tagged to certain phrases, certain words, or certain vibes that they come up with, and it's just gonna be artificially pumped in that way. Like, I feel like they're still gonna be trying to put songs in there or sneak stuff on there that's just what they were trying to pump anyways,
But
what they
they're
were the most money
they're
on.
already doing that. They're already doing that, right? Like Rap Caviar is not the best rap songs. It's like who paid to get on a playlist. I think something like being able to make derivative content. Because here's my thing: when DJs remix a song and the artist actually likes the song, they clear it and then they put it out. You know what I'm saying? It's on the platform anyway. Or if somebody wants to remix a song, then the artist will clear it if they want it out. You know what I'm saying? If they want it out, but they don't want it out officially, they'll just let it rock on YouTube. You know, to just allow anybody to remix a song and then put it on Spotify because it's remixed. You can just create an AI artist and then remix all of Drake's songs, and now we got AI Drake slop. You know, that's what I'm really worried about. Um, but yeah, AI sucks at making playlists. This ain't AI, this AJ. But Central C put out 2 songs recently. He's putting out a mixtape in 30 days called All Roads Lead Home. There's 7 tracks on this EP, and he released 2 of them this week. The first one, Iceman Freestyle. I can't lie. I listened like how people hated the Drake UK raps, like when he would rap UK and sound like he was like super monotone rapping. Like that's what the first song reminds me of. Iceman Freestyle. Did you hear this?
Yeah, I thought it was cool. Like I think one of the things when you sent me that song, you know how your phone just started doing the algorithm thing. The second song actually, but I started seeing people talking about it on the timeline. They just talking about Central C back in his drill bag. I'm loving to hear it, and then like J Hus back rapping, obviously because J Hus on the other song. But I liked it. I thought it was cool. I didn't think it was nothing like too crazy. I thought the second song was obviously better, but I didn't think it was like bad.
Right. Yeah, it wasn't bad, but it was just like, do we need this? I feel like his freestyles go crazy though. Like his
Mhm.
freestyles actually do go crazy because he treat them a different way. This one to me was just it didn't feel like that. So when he put, I feel like with him when he put freestyle on it, I'm like, oh, he about to. He didn't really do that for me, you know. But it wasn't a bad
Yeah.
song. But Slaughter featuring Jay Huss,
Mhm. Hard.
this yes, this is that song, bro. I'm so glad. I hope Jay Huss don't. I hope his home get foreclosed on. You know what I'm saying? I hope he never go back home. I feel like I hope he stay outside, bro. Jay Huss never needs to go back inside his house. He needs to just sleep outside.
Yeah, it's just the tone niggas come with too. Like that. That's always something you miss from certain artists. Like J Hus always gonna float on every beat, and definitely I'm glad he's back outside for the moment at least. Hopefully he doesn't go back to recluse.
Yeah. I'm actually interested to see how the Central C EP. You know what I think? What I'm nervous about? Central C has done a good job of not like the way he builds hype feels natural. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? And when he would put an EP out, he never rolled an EP out. You know, the
no.
first 2 to me they were albums. He calls them mixtapes. He would never roll stuff like that out. It would just come out. Like the 4-pack with Crypto Price. You know that song?
Yeah. Yeah.
I go up and down like the crypto. Right? Yeah, like that one. He just dropped it and it was heat. I just want him to just go back. I want to do that, but I know because he's signed now, he doing it different. I just hope he don't. It got to be he don't here for you to be pre-saving the EP 30 days out to me.
I don't know. I saved it just because I feel like sometimes I'll miss stuff based on not saving it, but I'm ready for it. But you are right, because with him and Dave, I feel like they didn't really market too. They might have put out like a little
They
video
just
before, but
dropped it. They just
yeah,
dropped it.
yeah, for real.
I wanted to mention that Jada Kingdom recently put out a 4-song EP the other day.
What's up there?
And I wasn't a huge Jada Kingdom fan. I'd heard a couple of her songs. I liked a couple of her songs, but I wasn't like a hard fan. You know what I'm saying? But there was things on this that were super interesting to me. First, the only feature on here is Foggy Raw. I like that song, Moody by Jada Kingdom featuring Foggy Raw. And it made me go back and look at like, oh, when was the last time she dropped? She dropped another EP last month. It's called Just a Girl in a Money Man's World. Sorry. Just a Girl in a Money Man's World. This one was 6 songs. And the first 3, there's no skips. The first 3 songs, they sampled Frontin' by Jay-Z and the Neptunes on Don't Talk to Me. The third song, that song is hard. And the first song is also hard, Still Searching. And I was just like, knowing her, she wasn't somebody that dropped a ton or super frequently. So for her to
Mhm.
give us 2 EPs back to back in 2 months, I feel like she about to go on a little run. You know what I'm saying? And this first EP to me, it's more upbeat, more dancehall. The second one is more R&B, a lot lighter, softer. You know what I'm saying? It's chill. It's good vibes. But the first one, I ain't gonna lie, I ran Don't Talk to Me Back about 4 times.
I'm gonna have to tap in. I love Jada Kingdom, bro. Like, and the funny thing is, whenever I would go to the parties at FAMU and they would had a new like the Caribbean parties, she was one of the main people getting played outside of vibes. Like, I feel like when you hearing the newer artists that are Caribbean, all that, she was one of the people definitely getting like current day playtime. So
Yeah. Shout out Jada Kingdom. I know you said you listened to the Jill Scott album. I did not get to that. How was it?
it was pretty good. I listened to it just because, I had seen Jill Scott promoting it, sexy auntie vibes, had to go check it out. But that was like it was very, very neo soul. Like it was very in the bag of like Erica Badu. She had JID on there, she had Absol on there, she had Tierra Whack on there. All three of those songs were crazy. There was a couple other ones that sounded kind of bluesy. There was a couple that was a little bit of spoken words. If you really like Neo Soul, definitely go check this out. Great raps on here. The song with Tierra Whack and Tierra Whack and her, I was really surprised that Jill Scott came in there like really spitting, like, and then that honestly made me go back and make my album of the week, Who is Jill Scott? So y'all will get that video soon because I wanted to go listen to her old stuff and see if she's always been on this type of vibe because did listen to some of her interviews and she was talking about how she really wants to get more into the rap side, how she want to win, rapper of the year one year, but good project though.
That's real. That's real. Shout out Jill Scott.
So, guys, we like to do a little bit of music history on here, and I think Chitlin Circuit is good because we're getting towards the middle to the end of Black History Month. So, this is a good, knowledgeable section for y'all. But the Chitlin Circuit, really the backbone of what Black cultural performance is. It was a network of Black-owned venues, theaters, and clubs, juke joints, things like that across the South and across the Midwest too. You would get some of those in Chicago. I know that it was one of those spaces that Black artists could really perform because back in the day a lot of artists weren't just getting booked at all these venues that white artists were getting booked at. So it was places that they could still go to make money, they could still go to perform, they could still go to do what they love, but it was mostly and made for, made by, and Black people. So some of the famous performers who you would have saw come up through the circuit, you would have saw James Brown, BB King, Etta James, one of my favorites of all time, Ray Charles, crazy dude. Ray Charles is like, I feel like he's the original industry bad boy, but whatever. Lil Richard
Ray Charles was actually the first person to perform the blues here, I'm pretty sure.
in Chicago specifically.
No, in Jacksonville.
Oh shit.
Yeah, there's a museum like 10 minutes from my house. I think I read that there. Fun fact.
Fun fact within some fun facts, we always got them for you. But Aretha Franklin, Lil Richard, my last two. And I thought this was just interesting because of the fact that I feel like we're getting to a space where there is more ways for artists to go out on their own and do things on their own. Obviously, we're seeing people like La Russell who signed like a distribution deal, but there is more things like that where you could just be on distribution with a label and still be doing your own thing, running your own shows, doing everything like that. And I think in a way, what La Russell was doing was kind of one of those like Chitlin circuit type of things. It was a space created for Black creatives. He would bring in different people. I remember when he brought in Juvenile and stuff like that. Like that was a good example of it. But you bringing in different artists and being able to do things still on your terms. And I think in a way, this will help a lot of Black artists and a lot of smaller artists because there would be more venues run by Black people where we're trying to bring in new and fresh Black talent. So I think this is something that go ahead.
I was gonna ask, do you think the Chitlin circuit could exist in today's context? Because I think I've thought about that a lot, like why there isn't a Chitlin circuit now,
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like the reason is because of obviously finances, policing, and regulation. And when I say this, and this isn't just like an American thing, like is if you go to the UK, for example, there was a piece of legislation passed in the UK called I'm gonna find the name of it. Section I wrote about it in one of my Black Atlantic videos, but it was a piece of legislation essentially saying that if you were throwing a party or a concert or some type of music event, that you were
Mhm.
required to report to this government agency or this government form you had to fill out saying what type of music was being played and what the demographic of people that was showing up to this um event would likely be, right?
Mhm.
So, and they would use that to police the areas, right? Certain clubs out here in Jacksonville, you know the police is outside, and you know if it get rowdy, the police finna walk up in there. You know what I'm saying? If there's a ton of black people pulling up in the area, you know the cops gonna be there. And I feel like back in the day, you could get away with like underground juke joint, speakeasy type of vibes, but today, I feel like it's more difficult, you know what I'm saying, to get something like that off.
I do feel like it's more difficult, but at the same time, I wouldn't want to short sell us and say that we can't do it because I've been to speakeasies in Chicago where it's just people doing um like kind of like DJ sets and it's white dudes and there's no problem. And I know there's different things that come with being in black communities, being in black spaces, but at the same time, I don't think that that means that we couldn't have something like this going on. I think it would just take people who cared about music and who cared about the product and who wanted to be able to curate these things for artists, people like us, to bring stuff that would be safe, that would like that would bring in enough people that would give artists a chance to really build like the core audience. I One of the stories I always go back to is you talking about seeing Blast when the ticket was like $20. Like shit like that will build an artist fan base for the rest of their career, to be honest. So it's like I think it's possible. I think it would just take um I think it's a little bit tougher too, though, because of the fact that Live Nation has so much like power and so much hands and what goes on with live performing. But at the same time, I don't know. Like, I think if it started with something like buying clubs and renovating those in the spaces or doing something like that, taking stuff that's already there that Live Nation doesn't own, I still think that it could be different pop-ups in different cities. Live Nation doesn't own literally everything, but they own a lot. You would just have to find ways around it, and that's just kind of the game, I guess.
I think Live Nation, like when you get to a certain capacity of venue, yes, you're right, you have to work around them. But
Mhm,
DJ Nate is he's my favorite DJ in Jacksonville.
mhm.
Bro, every venue, I'm like, this would be so cool for Rum and Jerk to be in. He's like, bro, I've asked every promoter and every club owner in Jacksonville over the last 8 years at some point to perform in that venue. And every time they just tell me they don't want black people in their venue.
Well, that's why I'm kinda
Mm.
saying it has to get to a point of people owning the venues. It can't be
But
anymore like, "We don't want you in there," because that's just like the barrier. Like I said, a person like LaRussell, yeah, it probably took him a while to sit there and be able to build up to the point where he could do something in his backyard, and now he could be one of the people a part of the Chitlin Circuit because he got a concert stage. And I know it's tougher and it's gonna be there's barriers and all that stuff, but I don't wanna just shortchange and say it's not possible.
I'm not
You know what I'm saying?
shortchanging us nor saying it's impossible. Like, yes, Lil Russell did it, but I think we're talking about the Chitlin circuit. Let's talk about the second half of that word, circuit, a network of people. You know what I'm saying? Am I saying individuals can't build clubs? Am I saying individuals can't own venues? No, because we can do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People can do that. I'm saying a network of people. It's like, bro, Chitlin Circuit, because the system has been set up to like almost make it harder for us to do things, we've have always navigated around said system, right? The Underground Railroad is literally that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? The Chitlin Circuit is literally that. I'm not saying these things aren't impossible. I just say in today, especially in a surveillance state where they in your phone, bro, where you say you need some toilet paper and then Alexa sends you a notification to your phone for 50% off some toilet paper on Amazon. You know what I'm saying? Do I think today we could work with it? Like, is that, I think it's just hard. I don't
Mhm.
think anything's impossible. I'm just saying, like, knowing that, bro, at the Jack's Beach bars, Somebody told me the DJs are not allowed to play 2 hip hop songs back to back. They're not allowed. It's not allowed. You can only play one at a time. In 2026, I just think something like that, because of regulation, capital, is just it's a harder hill to climb. Do I think it's impossible? No, because these are things I've already, like, when I think about what I wanna be doing, like, these are things I wanna do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But do I think the circuit part would be super hard today. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and I think the only way it could work, in my opinion, and we'll probably get off this unless you got something else to say about it. But I think the only way it could work is if you focused on black cities. Because if we bring it back to just Jax, if you look at the demographic of Jax is 49% white. So that probably means that the majority of the clubs, the majority of the bars that Nate might be able to play
Yeah.
at are owned by white people. So if you're focused more in a Mobile, Alabama, where there's probably black people owning some of this stuff, we're in black towns. And I know it's like, and at the same time, is a lot of
That's
niggas
a
are gonna do what you
fact.
just did. Like a lot of niggas might. I thought you scrunched your face up, but like a lot of niggas might scrunch their face up at that. Like I don't want to go to Mobile, Alabama. I don't want to go to
No,
some of
no,
the
but that's what I
black
was
towns.
gonna say. That's what I was
Yeah,
the thing is, like, while you say yes, Jacksonville is 49% white. When you talk about a black city, yes, you have to go to where there's large demographics of black people, not necessarily a black city, right?
yeah,
And when you look at a tour or when an artist is going on tour, they go to they may they go hit Charlotte potentially,
hmm,
maybe Memphis on the way down here, and then they gonna hit Atlanta. And if they're
yes,
big, they'll hit Orlando. If they're
yeah,
big, they'll hit Orlando, or they may hit Miami if they got a certain demographic of people coming to their shows. But Atlanta is as far south as it goes, bro. There's 300,000 black people in Jacksonville, Florida. You know what I'm saying? That's that's a big number. That's a big number in a major city, in the biggest city in the state, you know? And it's because it's not sexy to come to Jacksonville. It's not sexy to come
no,
to Mobile. It's not sexy to go to
New Orleans.
Jackson,
Yeah,
New Orleans. New Orleans, sometimes they get away with it because of the city vibe and stuff like that.
yeah,
But you know what I'm saying? They hit Atlanta, they hit Houston, they hit Atlanta, Houston, maybe a New Orleans, a Memphis or Charlotte, a DC. Like they hit these bigger cities. But if you're trying to build your name, like, yeah, you're gonna have to go to, you know what I'm saying, Little Rock.
yeah. And the thing is, the reason that I think it's going to be even better for the people who are doing the smaller boutique stuff is because Live Nation is not going to sign everybody that's trying to build up a fan base. They're trying to sign the niggas who they can send to Atlanta, New York, DC, Orlando, and make them a bunch of bread. They're not. There a lot of. I feel like a lot of it is going to be a lot of people who it's just maybes too. I feel like it's going to be more like the not more like obviously we're going to get good artists and good people in there, but it's going to be kind of like what's that shit in New York? I actually forget it. Forget it. You know what I'm saying?
If if you out there and you're an up and coming artist and you looking to sign a 720 deal with two real ass two brothers, two educated brothers, bro, we gonna take you all over the world, bro. We gonna hit Mobile, we gonna hit Little Rock, we gonna hit Dayton, Daytona Beach. You know what I'm saying?
Hell
Kissimmee. We
yeah.
gonna hit all them little towns. You gonna get your bread, bro. Hey, I'm gonna start planting the seed now. We gonna get us a little, you know what I'm saying, a little Dr. Dre or a little Tupac. You know what I'm saying? We gonna find somebody and we gonna take them through the South. We gonna make the new Chitlin circuit with bro.
Hell yeah, bro. That's how it's gonna be.
Welcome to Death Row, baby. Welcome to Death Row. I got a couple songs for y'all. I've been on a weird vibe. I've been listening to everything recently. Usually I'd be having a vibe for a period of time. Head's been all over the place. Um, the first one is She Wildin' by Fabulous and Chris Brown. For 2.5 days, I was obsessed with the Nas Uchiwali beat. Um, and this was a sample of the Uchiwali beat by Fabulous. I'm gonna come in here and do a segment on Fabulous next week. Bro is nice. So She Wildin' by Fabulous and Chris Brown. And then I got a I'm My Piano song for y'all. Ice Beat Sly is a producer, DJ that I'm a really big fan of. I love his log drum. His log drum rhythm is crazy. I don't know anybody that does it like him. He's done a lot of stuff with Uncle Waffles. He has a song called Can't See Me, where he samples the John Cena "You Can't See Me" song, and it's
That's
hard.
hard.
Dun, dun,
That
dun,
is
dun, 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 dun. That's it. Hey, hey, yeah, 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 yeah. So it's called "Can't See Me" by Ice B Slide, bro. That song is hard.
okay. Okay. My two for the week. So I got a new artist for y'all. His name is Cortex. I actually made a video about him today as well. Um, December 10th by him. If you like KWN, you would like this vibe. And then my other one, I'm just gonna go All the Signs by Don Toliver and Tizo Touchdown. Don Toliver album, really crazy. Might come in here and make that argument that Don Toliver is in the top three at this moment. So,
Top three, what?
just biggest artist at this moment when it comes to coming out of rap and coming out of like that area of music.
Don
He
Toliver is a
he
rapper.
I mean what would you categorize Don Toliver as? I wouldn't categorize him as a pop artist.
I put him in there with like, what is Young Blue? What is he?
Mm,
What is
I feel
Blast?
like that's
Is
kind of
Blast
like
a rapper?
melodic rap. Like I the thing is Blast. Okay, maybe you could put Don Toliver in the Bryson Tiller Blast and all that lane of his like niggas who can rap that
Nah,
everybody
nah. Because
wanna
here's the
see it.
thing. Here's the thing. All right, rap. Yeah, the word rapper has been co-opted. The word rapper has been co-opted. I'm thinking MC. I'm gonna let you
Okay.
continue. My bad.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, if we're just thinking about niggas who are making music in the rap lane, if we go back to Don Toliver's original, a lot of his original albums, he's gotten more into the rock and the other melodic sides of it in the past two albums, I would say. Even on Lovesick, he was kind of getting there. But on that first album, I felt like he was doing a lot more rapping. It was just over melodic stuff. It was a lot faster. But either way, All the Signs, Don Toliver, Tizo Touchdown, and then December 10th by Cortex. Go check both of those out. Let me know what y'all think.
All right, y'all. Listen, the dudes in the crop titties are telling you that Lil Uzi is still a rapper, man. We're gonna come back with a new genre next week.
Bro,
We'll see y'all next week.